Hi there. This is a reading for the collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest. In this reading, I'm going to get some messages from your ancestors, but what really inspired this is like I'm feeling a very proud type of energy. Really, I want to see what your ancestors are proud of you about, but also any messages that they want to get to you. So that's what we're here to do. If you want to stick around, do it. If not, that's okay too. This start. I feel like for a lot of you, there's a specific, like this is an ancestor you knew that's saying like you were very special to them. Like they always saw you as like the apple of their eye, or like you, this feels very much like a grandparent, like you were very, very special to them, more than any other grandchild. For some of you, this might be a grandparent that you played games with. I resonate with that. I used to play cards with my grandfather. Yeah, they're celebrating you for real right now. You passed a big milestone that fives are significant. Completion. And you've passed a huge milestone that they never accomplished in their life. So they're very, very proud of you for that. They want you to keep going. Keep going. Inner child. There's a lot of butterflies too. There's a very much like reminiscent energy coming through. I feel like they want you to kind of go back to childhood, like memories you have of them, to help yourself kind of have more fun, be a little more carefree. That's weird because I felt like that was going to go upright. Feel a little more carefree instead of feeling out of balance with yourself and other people in your life. They're definitely saying there's a sense of like you not truly recognizing how far you've come from, like, yeah, the birds, like they don't even recognize you, who you are. Self-doubt. Yeah, wow. You just closed a really big cycle. That's why they're proud. Like it's something to do with, like I said, how they like they never accomplished this in their lifetime, but you're doing it. And it has to do with like how you view yourself. It's very much a, like what's been coming up a lot for me recently is like insecurity, self-doubt. I just did a video about self-trust. Self-worth is there too. Like the faith you have in yourself. Imbalance, yeah. I'm feeling really drained right now. Okay, can I talk? So you have probably, oh, there's a grandfather here, I just noticed. And that's who I was thinking of, my grandfather. You probably feel drained right now because you've put in a lot of effort, right, with this cycle. So your ancestors are saying, not just, the one that I'm really honed in on right now, are saying like it's time for rest. You could put your guards down, like you need a break. Yeah, so there's a sense of like, this is crazy because I'm like, okay, I don't even know where to go because there's so much here about like the cycle that you've ended is like so many things rolled into one. Like I see you closing out this cycle, and then closing out this cycle, and then moving out of this one. But it's like, it's almost like how, you know, I talk about healing is in layers. Like you close out the cycles, but it's not complete. It wasn't completely closed out because you needed to like, yeah, you needed to close out that cycle, close out this cycle, close out this cycle, close out this cycle, and then get to this like last, like to be able to create the biggest cycle of all in order to close it all completely, if that makes sense to you. I know it sounds like really weird, but it's funny because I did a video recently talking about like, because spider webs were coming up and there's like so many intricate pieces that were kind of like even pieces that didn't belong together were kind of interwebbed with each other, and you had to like slowly clip them away one at a time in order to be able to like truly close it all out. But what I feel like it boils down to is your identity and how you show up in this world. So you might resonate with the fact that maybe a lot of your ancestors, you know, or even like your parents, they struggled with self-worth or feeling like they're not good enough for things. The insecurity piece is really big coming up here. And, you know, it's like a passed down generational thing. That's why I've really been drawn to ancestors lately, because it's like you're doing the work that they might have tried to do, but like couldn't do it, and you're actually doing it. Well, actually, I'm hearing that like they didn't have the tools. Excuse me. Thank you. They didn't have the tools that you have created for yourself, is what they're saying. Like you chose this, and like they can't express, like this is like teary-eyed kind of energy. Stop doing that. Sorry. This is like teary-eyed energy because like they are just applause everywhere up there for you. They're so proud of you. And I don't feel like I need any clarifiers. Like this is very, very straightforward. So one of the big things that I feel like you have worked on for a long time is being able to utilize your voice and stand your ground, coming from a place of like, not defensiveness. This is like you coming from a place of like, how do I want to say it? Like maturity. Like you're just like, okay, I see things as they are, and if I don't like something, I speak up for it. Or if I feel like a change needs to be made, I speak up for that in a calm and mature way. Okay. And one of the things that you're really standing your ground on, like this is like something with you, but maybe with other people in your life too, is that you no longer, oh my God, I'm sorry. My grandfather used to pick up pennies on the ground, and I just noticed this penny. Hi Gramps, love you. You no longer want to stress yourself out, overwork anything, and like hold your tongue. Like you, whatever needs to be said, whatever like you need to do in order to feel more balanced and feel like you can put this like wand down, you're doing now. Oh yeah, sorry. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini again, Leo. I think that was it. Okay. So yeah, this is like you really saying out loud, like admitting to yourself even, like, I don't like the way this is and it needs to change. Something needs to change. So I'm going to recognize it and make the changes I need to and speak up for what I need to speak up for. And definitely a sense of speaking up for yourself, like standing up for yourself. You probably are a person that, you know, look at, I got a frog in my throat just then. You're a person who had trouble speaking up on behalf of yourself. You might be shy. You might have been shy. You might have had people silence you, like whatever the case. I feel like for a lot of you, you silence yourself. This is a very much a sense of like, maybe, well, it's people pleasing, but like being afraid to speak your truth, like of how people might view what you think or how you feel or anything like that. And now you're in a space where you're going, well, I'm authentic, and the people around me are authentic. So I'm going to start showing up in the way that I need to, and stop, um, uh, putting myself in positions where I feel drained. Like, see, I was talking about being drained. So this is like you kind of pulling your power back and standing up for what you believe in. And like being your own advocate for things. And, you know, it's not that you need to really fight for yourself anymore. Like that's another part of the cycle you're ending. Like perhaps you felt like like I was talking about being defensive. Perhaps you felt like you needed to fight for yourself in the past, but now it's like you're saying, well, I know who I am and I don't need to prove anything. So this is me. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do. And, you know, take it or leave it, which is really, really good. So what's interesting is because, you know, you got Leo over here, which is like bravery, but this is a very, I'm feeling like for you, this cycle is like ending this sense of, especially you've got like a page here, right? Where you're seeing yourself as really, like maybe you've been an adult for a while, but maybe you saw yourself kind of immature. Like you're seeing yourself as an adult, and you're, you know, instead of feeling like you need other people to fight your battles, you're fighting your own. You're just saying, okay, I can do it. I don't need to hide behind my truth or let somebody else speak on behalf of me. I speak on behalf of myself, which is really, really amazing. Your ancestors are very proud. And I want to say too, I know I was talking about like a grandfather specifically or grandparent, but there definitely is, you know, ancestors that you never even met, this going super far back, that are watching what you're doing and supporting you. I got like a kind of a tingling in my shoulder, like they're like behind you, like helping guide you through this, because I feel like they feel they want to assist you, because they, you know, it's weird because I feel like the farther you go back, like maybe they were embodying a lot of these things, like more so than your more recent ancestors. For sure, that's what it is. So they have the tools and they're kind of helping guide you. I've got chills, because they have already done it. But, you know, it's almost like the telephone game where, you know, you tell somebody a story and then they tell somebody a story. And by the time it gets to the last person, it's like, you know, not even what you said at all. Or they said, I should say. So I feel like over time, like their traditions and how they showed up in the world got lost. And then, you know, your more recent ancestors, not that it's a bad thing they're looking at them in a negative way, but by the time it got to your more current ancestors, they were completely removed from the way that you're trying to do things now. Like your old, very, very, very old ancestors were already doing. So they're really proud of you for bringing the tradition back, is what they're saying. So another cycle. Oh, by the way, a lot of blue. So throat chakra heavy, crown chakra too, and base chakra. Like grounding yourself in this new reality, intuition as well. Third eye. So one of the other cycles you're ending over here is like imbalance in your life, in yourself, and within your connections. This is like you know what, I need one more on this one. I do need one more. It does kind of feel like with what I was saying in that first one, where you're like dimming your light for other people or something like that, or making yourself small. Yeah, making yourself small for connected, making yourself small for other people. Spiritual adventure, travel, education, experience, inspiration. Wow. Okay. So this cycle that you're ending is about you finding balance within yourself with the masculine and feminine energies, but like balance in your life in general, like not being overworked, not, like, okay, I've got a balance between work and play. And, for some of you, you might have been really hard on yourself on how you show up in connections. I can relate to that. Especially recently, I've been really, really tough on, like when you start the healing, right? You start noticing how you were showing up in really toxic ways. So I was really hard on myself. And this is like you finding more compassion with yourself, which in turn helps you find more compassion for other people in your life. But without you instead of being a lion, turning yourself into like a cat for somebody else. Okay. Like having the courage to kind of pave the way forward for yourself and like show like how it should be, like how a connection should be, like a healthy way to be. And whoever wants to join you on that is going to do it, and whoever doesn't isn't. Right? I just talked about this yesterday. But the more you find balance within yourself, the more the more you're able to adapt to challenges that arise for you. So you might be a person that has put a lot of emphasis on your connections with people, whether it's romantic or friendships or family or whatever. Like you really care truly about people. So when things don't necessarily go the way you wanted in the past, with somebody, like, whether it's you making a mistake or, doing some toxic things, or it's them, you might have found yourself before, like letting that kind of, ruin your day, or, kind of like make you lose focus on everything else around you. Like, there's a high emphasis on relationships. Like you take them very seriously, but to the extent of like where it might be damaging to you because you're not balanced. Like you're too involved with that person. You're too like attached to that person. You're too codependent. You're too like whatever it means for you. Like you tend to focus a lot of energy on that, and then forget about yourself in the process. Like that's how you're making yourself small. So like recently you've kind of been enlightened and seeing your connections as opportunities to evolve yourself, and like evolve the way you view them. Yes, our connections in our life are super important too, but the connection with yourself is the utmost importance. And that's something that you probably, like me, have struggled with in your life. Like being 2 8. or was there another 8? No, this is 6. Oh, 8 right there. 3 8s. And I've been seeing like, it's like the infinity. So sorry, I forgot what I was saying. Oh my God, infinity. Stop it. No, keep going. So, you right now, what you're closing out, the cycle you're closing out, or part of the cycle, I should say, is that you're really recognizing the importance of the connection with yourself in order to co-create in a healthy way with other people, instead of building your life or what you do around the people in your life. And it feels like the more that you find balance within yourself and focus on what it is that you need to do for yourself, the more aligned you'll be with the connections surrounding you and any kind of connections that are trying to come in to assist you going forward. Because, I've been seeing a lot of like readers talk about, oh, there's somebody new coming in. There's somebody new coming in. And, it's like somebody who, listen to the birds, it's somebody who's going to help you on this next part of your journey, like your level up, whether it be a mentor or maybe it's another friend. For some of you, it can be like a new relationship. But it feels like somebody that like you needed to become secure in yourself. That's part of this cycle too, like secure in yourself in order to be in alignment with this new person coming in and these new opportunities to co-create. Okay. Anywho, one second here. Let me sit with this 8 of Cups for a minute. So another piece of the cycle is you having the courage to walk away from like everything you knew, literally. This is like everything, and I mean moving on. Everything that you knew to be true. Like this is so wild because you are a completely different person. Like even if you are still, feeling like you haven't closed these things out that I talk about, like you've already had the realizations. It's just a matter of implementing them. So this part of this cycle is like, okay, I really truly need to let go of these habits, behaviors, ideas of myself. It's like, again, so many intricate parts, maybe even people, maybe you've walked away from people recently, in order to feel empowered, in order to be fulfilled. Because the way you were living your life before was not fulfilling, especially when you focus too much on other people and leave yourself in the dark, leave yourself hanging. So, and I keep looking at the empty cups. It's like, and this is kind of indicative of the cycles where it's like, okay, I drain this cup, I dump this, like you're dumping the contents out because you're like, I don't like what's in the cups anymore. I gotta fill it up with like life force, essentially, things that bring life to you instead of things that drain you. You know what's funny is Sterling is being loud, and usually it's Brennan. So a lot of you might be feminines coming here, and the fact that she doesn't really speak up, and I'm talking about like your truth and the throat chakra, really, really big deal. And this is you walking towards spirit walking towards the path that you're meant to go down, that you've always been meant to go down, but you weren't ready to do it. But now you're ready. Now you're saying, okay, I'm getting rid of the baggage, essentially, and walking forward, which is really beautiful. Okay, moving on. Self-doubt, confusion. Yeah, there's a sense of, you might have found in a lot of your life where you felt trapped, or, well, blocked, or, what's the word I want to say? How do I want to say this? Because look at the swords are, like, I mean, in this card, this Six of Swords, it talks about moving forward, right? But when you're looking at it like this, it looks like the swords are blocking the boat, and the swords are blocking, you know, this individual. She's a female. And by the way, feminine energy, we all have feminine, masculine, however that relates to you. You don't have to be a female, like you could be a feminine male, or, you know, whatever. Okay, I'm done talking about that, sorry. But yeah, it's like every time you were trying to make progress, you felt blocked. You felt like you couldn't move forward. And part of it was your own destruction. Like, it was your own ideas of what you were capable of doing. See, I was talking about that in the beginning with your ancestors or parents or whoever, where they, you know, didn't see the value they brought to the world, and they couldn't see what they were capable of doing. Like, that is true for you too, in some way, shape, or form. And you put these limitations on yourself. Like, you literally just said, oh, that's the best I can do. That's all I can do. I don't know how to do anything else. And, you know, now you're in a space where you're like, well, I can do anything, but I'm only going to do what feels good to me now. Like, it's not about, like, there's very much a self-comparison thing too, where you might feel a competition with other people, like feeling not good enough, where you just go, well, that person's got it all figured out. Like, no, nobody's got it all figured out. And that might have been part of your limitation, because you were afraid of letting yourself down, letting other people down, or not living up to these other people and the ideas you had of them. Because, you know, we only see what's on the outside. We don't know what's going on the inside for people. They might be really super successful and have a lot of money, but guess what? They might be miserable, you know, like, you don't know. So part of the cycle piece that you're ending here is limitations that you've put on yourself, and like blocking your pathway of moving forward onto the things that you want to do, because out of fear of succeeding, like, am I going to fail? There's a fear of failure for sure coming up here. Am I going to fail at this? Am I going to be good enough for this? 100% you are. And this is a recognition of, like, you probably recognize now that the things that, maybe it's a good time to look back at what you thought you wanted to do. This feels more career based, but it doesn't have to be. Or maybe it's even about like what you like to do on a day-to-day basis. Okay, maybe you're doing different things than you used to do even. But sorry, where was I going with that? So you might find that what you thought you were, like, for instance, for me, when I was younger, and even up to 5 years ago, I always thought I was going to be in customer service. I thought I was meant to, you know, just, that was how I was going to help people. Like, looking back at that now, that's so ridiculous. Like, no, that was never meant for me. It was something that I needed to do to get me here to go, yes, I am meant to help people, but on a bigger scale. So I encourage you to kind of look back at when you were younger, or even if it's more recent, of like what you thought you wanted to do and what you actually really truly want to do, and allow yourself to move towards those things, even if it's scary. Because part of the big thing about this cycle is that you're stepping into this new territory you've never seen, and a lot of your ancestors have never seen. And it's scary because you don't, like, this is all you have known, right? So like letting go and actually giving yourself permission to step forward is a big deal. And I actually did this the other day with myself. I talked out loud and told myself, like, I know you're scared, and I know I'll probably have moments where I'm still scared, even when I start making progress. And I might fall back into old habits, or, you know, stop creating because I'm scared. Like, that's fine too. You're going to have moments like that, but you don't have imposter syndrome anymore. You know who you are. You're confident in that. And your ancestors are giving you the go ahead to just start walking your path and moving forward with the things that you want to create. So I was talking about insecurity. So there's something about like you feeling, this is kind of tying into this one. So this is stemming from family, your family beliefs, your family values, like how, you know, you were brought up to see what, believe what, or how you were brought up to see what a family looks like. Okay. Like traditional type values, tradition, it literally says that on the card. So I feel like you're tearing that completely down. And this is one of the hardest pieces right here. This goes along with this, because you probably identify with the fact that you sought security in other people. Like, that's something that I feel like, and it's not even necessarily like traditional in the sense where your family's passing it down. It's just a societal belief of like, okay, if I have, you know, everything that I want, if I'm successful in my career, if I have the perfect person, if I have a white picket fence and 2 kids and all this stuff, like, I'm going to feel secure. No, the fuck you won't. Okay. No, you need to feel secure in yourself, and all these other things that you co-create with other people, or, you know, your success that you build, like, that will feel really good and amazing if you're secure in yourself. Otherwise, it's not going to feel good. It won't. So part of like who you used to be, you might identify with the fact that you, like I was talking about how you viewed other people, right? You might have looked like the looking at other people and seeing what they have, and you're like, I want that success, I want that relationship, but it felt, now looking back, it felt empty because you were looking at those things like, once I have this, it's going to be enough. Once I have that, it's going to be enough. Once I have that, like, you're, like, if I attain these specific things, it's going to be enough. But it won't be, because you're not enough to yourself. Okay. So that's something that you're breaking down, and like, that's probably one of the biggest pieces. And that's about the balance, right? The masculine and the feminine balance, where you're going, I am enough. I deserve every single fucking thing that I want. And I'm going to go after all of it from a different energy, because how you were going after it before was never, and maybe that's part of why things have felt stuck for you, or things haven't moved forward for you in your relationships or your business, because you were in this energy of, once this person does this, I'm going to feel like enough. And once I, you know, have this amount of followers, or, you know, this much money in the bank, or this much recognition, I'm going to feel amazing. And Spirit said, that's not for you. So we can't move forward until you recognize your fucking worth. I got chills everywhere and I want to cry. So you can't move forward until you recognize who you are, what you bring to the world, what you bring to the table, and own that shit. Own it. This is me, unapologetically. This is who I am. I have always been, and I'm saying this for me, but for you too. I have always been that person to genuinely care so much about other people. And am I perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have made a lot of mistakes, okay? Even recently. With myself and with the people I care about. But I know I deserve everything that I've ever dreamt of because of who I am on the inside and how I show up in this world. And the same is true for you, okay? You need to truly understand that so you can say, I'm ready. I'm ready for all of the things. And I'm scared. That's okay. Admit that. I'm scared of this new, the new things that are coming my way, because I don't know what they look like. And it's foreign. It's completely foreign. But I'm going to allow myself to take the opportunities instead of being afraid of them. And understanding that you're going to know what feels good to you and what doesn't. What opportunities feel good to you and what don't. And see, part of this cycle right here where you're going, okay, like I know this is how it's always been done or how it always has looked in the past with past generations, with society or whatever. But I don't like that. I'm not them. And I need to get in alignment with myself and the things that I want. So that way, when these opportunities show up, I don't just say yes to them. I know my worth. I know my value. I trust myself to make the right decisions now. Like in the past, you might have taken all these ones. And maybe one of those ones were, like it was a wand that destroyed you. I don't know. Like that's extreme, but maybe that was a wand that, somebody gave to you only to take it back, or somebody gave it to you with an expectation of something that you didn't want to do, right? So, what I think your ancestors are wanting you to realize is you're exactly where you're supposed to be because you had to, work on ending these cycles in order to step forward. The bird said, hell yes. Confidently and knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and going after it without blocking yourself, okay? They're so proud of you. I just want to get an affirmation and then I'm going to end it. So proud, like you're doing what's not been done. Collaboration. That's perfect. Okay, that needs to be talked about too. I take pride in my role as a good collaborator and look for opportunities to help support my colleagues or people in your life ideas rather than dismiss them outright. I fill my meetings with yeses and ands, and I celebrate the constructive power they have over buts and ors, unless I work for a company that makes cigarettes and boats, not boats again, in which case butts and ors would be, oh, never mind. So I feel like actually Spirit is coming through with this one and saying, you know, like you have great ideas and you're on, excuse me, young lady. You have great ideas and you're on the right track, but they want you to loosen up a little bit and let them come through with ideas for you. And they want you to be more open to new ideas. And the ideas might come in the form of people around you, or you might just, you know, get inspired, and maybe it's not something you normally do, but you're like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should try that. Even if it's out of your comfort zone, you need to like be open to more things like that instead of being so rigid. I relate to that. If you relate to that, you're not alone. Okay, outlets. Luck's underneath that. Yes. Outlets. What's this? Gasp. A remedy for the daily grind? That's right. Here's the boost you need to experiment with some new pastimes and hobbies. See? Work can feel uncreative sometimes, or not aligned with who you are, or completely and utterly devoid of any sort of meaning or value or shred of humanity, but don't despair. Sterling, come on. Sorry, guys. You have the ability to express yourself in other ways, and life is full of meaningful endeavors. There is no need to chain your life to a boring job when there are gardens to grow, baseballs to throw, and pudding-based performance art installations to show. Get out there. So, you know, another message here, and, you know, with the comfort piece, what might actually help you, Spirit is saying, get out of your comfort zone, is maybe like doing things on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, if you don't feel like it on a day, that's fine. But that are something you wouldn't normally do. Okay. Like routines, like I was talking in a recent video on getting on healthier routines, but, you know, I was saying to myself today, and I've been trying to get more out there and do more things, with people, because I tend to isolate myself because I'm introverted. So, you know, calling that friend and going exploring with that friend, or doing it by yourself, going somewhere by yourself that you haven't gone to, that you've been thinking about doing, or, you know, meeting up with family and doing stuff with them, like whatever you're called to do. Spirit is saying, like, try new things, go do new things, or go co-create with people. And you know, part of the feeling stuck is your day-to-day life. If you're doing the same things every day, it's not leaving you room to be creative. It's not leaving you room to bring the new ideas in, right? So, you know, even writing stuff down, like I've been trying to write more, because that helps me be creative. Like whatever inspires you to be creative right now would be a really good thing, so you don't feel stuck. Because part of what I think is happening, and this resonates with me too, is when I feel stuck, I stay there because I think I'm supposed to sit and not do anything, but that's not what Spirit wants anymore. Like, we needed to be in that pause. We need to be in that hermit mode to have to be able to end all these cycles so we can move forward. And now Spirit is saying, like, you, because you're so used to that, like, it's hard for you to get unstuck because it's just what you've done for a long time. So now you have to find creative ways to unstick yourself, because you're not stuck. And that comes in forms of actually doing things. And maybe it's not, you know, your job, or your passion like me, or regarding your relationships. Maybe it's just like you saying, okay, I want to do something today. I don't know what that is, but maybe look online and see what's happening around you. See if there's an event you can go to, or, you know, wherever you're moved to go. Start slowly getting yourself back out there so that you can really truly step into this new life you've created for yourself, because literally that's what you've done. That's why your ancestors are so proud of you, because you have completely flipped the script. And that's not easy to do, because we are designed to not want change, to continue to do the same things day in and day out. Wally is coming to mind. If you've never seen that, watch that. You know, especially with technology, we are just glued to our phones. We don't, you know, oh, this is comfy. I don't want to step out and do anything because I know what to expect with this phone and, you know, this daily thing that I do. Like, we got to get out. We got to break the mold and get out and start doing things instead of existing. Okay. So anyway, I hope this helped you, and I'm proud of you. Your ancestors are proud. Get out in nature. I've been doing that a lot too. That tree. There's a tree in the park that I live by that I always hug when I go to the park. Get by a tree, hug a tree. It feels good. So anyway, thank you for being here. Any likes, shares, comments, subscribers to my channel are super appreciated. If you would like to donate to my channel, it's not expected, but appreciated. I have CashApp, Venmo, and PayPal. I will put that in the comments as well. Right now, I'm only doing online booking, one-on-one readings. So, you know, if you need any help, I'm here to help you. I specifically focus on trauma, helping people through their trauma, because that's what I'm literally doing a lot of days in my life, really. So if you need help with that, I mean, I can help you with anything, but you know, if you're working on your trauma, I can help you with that. I will put the booking link in the comments as well. And I hope everybody has a good day.